Hey guys, Potatoes here. You know what build gets almost no attention? The Frost build. I have absolutely no idea why. It makes the game extremely easy, as Frost keeps enemies off you, it lets you flurry for extreme damage, and with the Bright Lord set, you'll be getting off your ultimate ability extremely fast. Expect to get it off multiple times in every fight. So if you like disrupting your enemies and unleashing the cold sting of death, this build is for you. First, I'm going to run through what gear you need, then I'll go over the abilities, and then I will finish with a showcase of the build.
Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew.
The Bright Lord set, also known as the Frost build, is what I will be showing off right now. So, every single item that we have is level 60, and every single item that we have is the Bright Lord set. Now, you can hot swap items that work well with frost damage, or extend the duration, or do more damage against frosted targets, but very simply get the whole set. So let's start with the Bright Lord's sword. So you gain 20 wrath after performing an Ice Storm finisher. Now, I showed that off at the start of the stream, but I'm going to show this off after we go through all the abilities as well. So you get 40 health recovery on an execution. Don't have to worry about that. That'll be different for everyone's item. But the main thing is the 20 wrath after performing an Ice Storm finisher. That is a lot of wrath, guys. It's like 1/5 or a little bit more than that of your total wrath, which is crazy. Then you get the dagger, which gives you 30 wrath, which is even more. That's like a quarter of your wrath bar in one go against frozen enemies. And there's a lot of ways to freeze enemies with this set, guys. There's a lot of ways. You have your quick throw, which applies frost, and you also have a lot of different bonuses that will come up across very soon. But now with the 2 set bonus, you get wrath 50% faster, but it also lasts half as long. Doesn't matter, because you get it so much faster, you can activate it more often. Now with a particular part of the storyline, the ability changes from Elven Wrath to another ability. We won't go through that just now, but if you get that ability off more often, you will summon more troops around you. So this is very, very beneficial, this set bonus. Now, let's move on to the hammer. Now, I don't like hammers usually over bows, but there is a reason why this hammer is really good, and that's because charge attacks freeze nearby enemies, and all of your attacks work well with being frozen. So freezing large groups of enemies means they won't be attacking you, and also means you'll be able to do your Ice Storm against them, which is amazing. So, let's move on. And then you got the Bright Lord's armor. Now, you gain wrath when getting hit. This is probably the best item to swap out if you find something better, because it doesn't get any particular bonuses from the ice damage or having someone frozen. So consider swapping this one out if you need to. But the really cool thing about this is you take 40% less damage from range attacks, and you gain wrath when getting hit. So gaining wrath is awesome, and other ways to gain wrath is very needed for this build, but this is one that you can swap out. Alright, so then we have the cloak. You gain wrath when killing frozen enemies, so works really well with those freeze mechanics. More frozen, the more kills you get. The more kills you get, the more wrath you get. You gain wrath so fast with this build, it's incredible. You also get focus with kills as well, so that's another great thing. You can keep launching those hammer attacks off. And with the 4 set bonus that you should have with the chest piece, you will get the replenish all elf shot when killing an enemy during Elven Rage. So because this only has 7 ammo, this is having the 4 set bonus is very useful. And then you can keep launching off those range attacks, and since you'll have focus per kill, you should be able to stay in that slow motion mode for as long as you need. Then we have gaining even more wrath when you're killing frozen enemies, so that's 2 wrath by killing a frozen enemy. Amazing. You also get more focus recovery per kill, so getting those kills will mean you'll stay in that slow motion range charge mode. So that's the items. Now I prefer to get health back when I attack with my sword, but putting this to Damage is also okay. I've gone for damage with both my dagger and my hammer. And I think getting health is the best thing for your cloak and your chest piece. And in terms of what you should get for your ring, it's either depending on if you want follower damage increase or you want their health to be increased, essentially, because they take less damage. But I would prefer follower damage. Now, I've kept it on this gem here because we're doing a lot of pit fighting and I don't want our own dudes to get stronger. Now, that is the armor set. Now let's look at the abilities. Execution, it's a must-have. You need execution. Now, you're going to be getting hit a lot in this build because it does let you gain wrath. So you don't care too much about being hit. So, since you're being hit, you don't want to lose your might gain. So, you lose might, a little bit of might, when you get hit by a regular attack if you don't have Grim Resolve. So get Grim Resolve, that means that now that those little attacks hit you, they give you might instead of taking it away. Big attacks like from Ologs will still take it away though. Then you've got Perfect Counter, Fatal Counter. Remember, with this build we need to kill things. We don't worry too much about our might, we're worrying about our wrath. So you want to make sure you're killing as many things as you can, so get good at countering with the right timing. Critical Strike, doesn't matter what you put it as. I'm going to put it as Reprisal just because I'm going to expect my health to get slightly lower since I'll be taking a bit of damage. So Critical Strike chance will be increased. Ground Finisher, I prefer Ground Drain. The main reason is, let me just jump over to it quickly, is we have this upgrade to Drain. Bright Lord's Wrath, and this is something that helps the build quite a lot. Draining or dominating enemies fully recovers you, but it gains you wrath as well. So ground draining can give you a bit of wrath. Now, brutal aggression, ceaseless might. There's no reason why you shouldn't have ceaseless might. Almost no build you'll need wraith execution. Ceaseless might is the way to go. It means you can get off 2 might spending moves sequentially if you have a fully charged bar. So you can get off Freezing Blast or a Firestorm and a Winter's Breath. Then Vengeful Drain, once again, gives you wrath if you time it right. You can also get Adamant if you find yourself dying a lot. Okay, then move on over to Elven Agility. Now, Silent Runner, I prefer it. So you can get around without getting every orc that you see chasing after you. This is just like to make the game slightly easier, just more convenient versus making you better in battle. Now you can use Spectral Dash if you like using a lot of stealth, but I personally prefer Silent Runner. Now, Brutalize. You don't want to fear them. You don't need to fear them. You want them grouped up and frozen so you can kill as many as you can. If they run away, you're not getting kills and you're not getting wrath. So you don't want to fear them. You want this. Gives a bonus to your might and your hit streak. Now, Poison Tendril. Doesn't really matter what you pick up here. I pick up Proximity Trigger because I like setting traps. Now, Wraith Chain. I've gone with Shadow Blade so you can get more of them off in a row. You could usually only get about 4, I think, but you can get 5 with Shadow Blade. Monster Hunter I've never had to use ever, so you don't need to pick that up. Now, Deadly Spectre. Another one I don't really use that often. Spirit Drain is probably the best. Once again, draining gives you that wrath. Death Threat, either of those, swap them in or out depending on your situation. Now, Detonate. I personally use Bursting Arrow so you can hit people with fire from range. In this case, it's probably the best choice. However, you can pick up Matron Scent, if you need to do a bit of beast damage, like you need to take out a captain who's vulnerable to beasts. Now, Freezing Pin. Savage Ice is best in almost every situation. There will be Olog captains that you want to pin to the ground, and you can't do so unless you have this. Now, Bird of Prey. You want to go with Talon Strike. I use this so much. It's like a fast travel thing. You can get into fights easily. You're not going to really need to consume your focus slower. Look, there's no reason why you should be in the air for that long. So get Talon Strike. Mighty Shot. I'm picking up Firestorm. Main reason is we already, with our range attack and our hammer, can freeze enemies by fully charging it. So if you put on Firestorm, now you can do fire damage with your range as well, which is another damage type, which definitely helps. So get that instead of freezing blast, because you already have a range way to freeze them. Shadow Strike, Shadow Dominate. Remember, dominating will apply drain, and that means Bright Lord's Wrath. You get Wrath from it. So you have a range way to get Wrath and health back, which is amazing. This was good if you are in a bit of trouble and need some health. Brace of Daggers, get Rain of Blades, because the first Rain of Blades you'll throw will freeze the target. As you can see in the thing there, one of them gets frozen. So it's really good with your gear. Anyway, Elven Light, get Winter's Breath. That's basically the build. You know, you want to keep things frozen. You want to use your Ice Storms as much as you can. If something's frozen, then you can Ice Storm them. Perfect, huh? You can get Shower of Ice if you are confident your hit streak will get up high enough. I don't think it will with this build, because you want to be hit. So, get Frostbite. It'll apply that critical strike. You'll kill the Orc. You'll get a ton of Wrath. And you'll also get Wrath from finishing the Flurry from your gear, which will give you a lot. And I'll show you very soon how much it gives you. Consume, you love this ability. Consume increases Wrath. Okay? So when you use Consume, you get tons of Wrath. Now, Treasure Hunter, I'm using Prospector just to get gems, but the best one is Mindbreaker. Now, Raise Dead, Undying Loyalty to get captains, but hot swap it out to Undying Beasts if there's beasts around, or Death Toll if there's Zologs around. Very simple, get all three of those. Caragor Rider, simply get Beastal Rage, means you can sacrifice health to use their moves that would usually take Might. Howl being one of them. Howl summons in another Caragor, so you can just jump on the Caragor, howl until your current Caragor dies, and you should have two or three Caragors that are loyal to you in the area, and then you can just keep repeating the process. So it's a very cool ability. With Graug Rider, pick up Enduring Fury. Basic attacks gain more might. Much better than this. So your might spending move will give you more health, but if you can just get off more might spending attacks, you'll get just as much health back, right? And you also do more damage, so this is much better. Now, Call Mount, hot swap between the three. Dire Caragor is good for getting around. Good for jumping on, summoning a group of Caragors. If you're facing a lot of Caragors, Dire Caragor is great because it will convert all enemy Caragors to your side within the area, because Dire Caragors are the alphas, so they will influence the others. Graug Call is good for just doing a lot of damage and tanking a lot of damage. Drake is good for getting around and doing damage from the sky, but it does not take as much damage as a Graug. Then you got Shadow Mount. I use Caragor Breaker more because you can just instantly dominate. I haven't used Packmaster a lot. I probably used it twice during a playthrough, so not the best ability to use. Dragon Rider, once again, Scales of Iron, the best. Drakes already have a problem surviving, so you don't want to sacrifice their health to use a Fireball. Pretty simple. Get Scales of Iron. It'll apply to them if you aren't riding them as well, and this only applies when you're riding. Now, we talked about this Drain. Get Bright Lord's Wrath, that's the point of the build. Spectral Grave, I barely use it, but Deadly Strike is the best here. You don't need to get more Might. Might's not really used too much in this build. Hitting more often is better. Now, Ring Wrath, just get Poison Weapon, it's usually the best. Depends on what you're facing though, you can swap them in and out. Shadow Strider, you want to freeze them, so 100% get one of my favorite abilities here. When you vault over them, you freeze them. I can't explain how many times I've destroyed a captain only because of this ability. It's been a savage or a defender and they have no particular weakness, so leap behind them, freeze them, and then do a Ice Storm. It's an amazing ability. It's probably one of the only ways you can defeat certain captains, so definitely pick it up. Anyway, Call Followers, Bodyguard. Pretty simple. Get a really powerful Bodyguard. Get one that can dish out the pain and summon him in whenever you can. There's no Bodyguard that increases your damage via Frost. So don't worry too much about that. There's no Frost Master trait. Anyway, Dominate Captain, I get enraged followers, so if there's followers around me, I can enrage them and they can attack faster. That's pretty simple. You don't need lifeblood, but if you're finding your followers dying a lot, then sure, why not? But it's best to use your Wrath for your Ring Wraith ability. Okay? Then, destroy followers, you don't need this. Use this only if you need to kill someone to make space. Alright, so that makes it very simple in terms of what abilities you should get. Once again, I go through the gear again. You get Wrath after performing an Ice Storm finisher. You get Wrath with stealth kills. You freeze enemies with your hammer. You get Wrath from taking damage. And you get Wrath from killing frozen enemies. So, let's try this out. So now I have no Wrath. So I'll show you how fast you gain it. Okay? Now watch this. Bang! You see that? You see how fast that went up? And we'll do it again. Bang! Amazing. Anyway, let's unleash again. Off with your head. Cheer 5. Thanks. Okay. And now, make sure the things you kill are frozen. There we go. Got a lot of Wrath there. That guy has a poison weapon. Because he's from being resurrected. There we go. Lots of Wrath. Okay. Let's just do a bit of damage. There we go. And now we'll get off our little freezy attack here. Full Wrath already. So you can just unleash over and over and over again. This build is really cool if you like using your Owen Rage. And it's especially good against captains when they have a lot of men around them. So I can just unleash again. There we go. Wait, is that our guy?
Let us not waste time. I've waited long enough.
Alright, let's show this build off then. With a captain. So, kill that guy. Ugh. Pop, tons of Wrath. We're getting hit, we're getting tons of Wrath from that as well. Pop, let's freeze some more guys. Even more Wrath, and now we can get off our Ring Wraith ability here and finish him off fairly easily. There we go. Blaring Cat, love you babe, thanks. Really appreciate it. How are you, Blaring Cat? Curse is the biggest weakness of that build. It is. Curse is a huge weakness. If you do get cursed, then you do lose your Wraith. But keep in mind, your Wrath, sorry. Keep in mind that you gain it so fast that it really doesn't matter. Very easy to do damage and gain Wrath. So watch this. Frozen. Boom. You do that twice, guys. You stealth kill a frozen enemy twice, and you've got full Wrath. Very simple. There we go. Okay. Oh, he's dead from that. There we go. We got our Wrath. Fully charged. There you go, guys. It just took 3 grunts to fully charge what would have taken probably, I don't know, like 50 kills to charge previously. So it's amazing. Anyway, Do you gain Wraith while using Elven Rage? No, you don't, unfortunately. Hey guys, that is the build. So once again, to reiterate, using all the Bright Lord's armor set, very easy to get that armor set in the game, you just need to follow the quest line. Bright Lord, there you go. Thanks for watching guys, I appreciate all the support, so any likes, comments and subs are greatly valued. I'm still giving away copies of Shadow of War, so see the description and how to enter. Also, join my Discord channel if you want to talk to me and a wonderful gaming community directly. I'm Potates, and see you soon.